welcome back to the channel, or welcome to my channel. This is day 2 or 3 now, I think, of us starting our process. Let me turn this air off just a second. I'm so sorry. I want you guys to be able to hear me clearly and precisely without interruptions. So this is Lunar Ray Tarot Wellness, Spiritual Guidance. I am Katie. I'm a spiritual teacher, medium, psychic, whatever you want to call me. I got some really neat gifts that I have been given from Source and Divine, and I really like to use these things to educate and just show people the other sides of the world that have been wonders, if you may. So I first of all wanted to start off by kind of apologizing for yesterday. I know that I had kind of told you guys with the ashwagandha that I had spoke about, like how much to take and how much was safe and all of that stuff. But this is just another example of whenever you're channeling spirit, you cannot control how much comes out, what comes out, and sometimes your thoughts are such a mess because there's so much coming through that it gets overwhelming. Okay, so I wanted to start there and just let you guys know, because I do keep my notes. I keep all of my channeling notes in case I ever need to like reconnect with something for you, okay? Because I never want anybody to leave my channel with questions or, you know, well, what did she mean by this or whatever. That's my job, okay? My job is to be a spiritual guider and a spiritual teacher from Source and Divine, okay? So let me go back to yesterday. I wanted to look at my notes because I wanted to tell you specifically, because I don't even remember writing it, okay? So this is the one that I buy. I really wish that I'll have to figure out how to mirror that. But anyway, this is the one that I buy. Okay, so the instructions tell us that we can take 2 capsules, okay, per day. But this is a 1,300 milligram dose, okay? So the one that I use, I'm also clinically diagnosed as bipolar, which I rebuke that, okay? I don't accept those negative vibes anymore, especially whenever plants like this can help with any kind of mood instability that I've had, as well, of course, as cannabis and things like that, okay? So looking at my notes, it looks like I channeled that it is safe to take up to 1,000 milligrams a day for up to 10 weeks. Now, 10 to 12 weeks, roughly. Now, remember, we talked yesterday about the importance of always consulting with your doctor before you take anything, the importance of knowing that I'm not a doctor, so any of this herbal information and advice that I'm giving you is just all from Source. It's stuff that you can utilize to maybe help yourself, okay? So the 1,300 milligrams that I take, it has been sufficient. I have had no GI upset. I've had a beautiful peace of mind. I've really had no major stress and anxiety, and I'm not just saying that, okay? I am a realist when it comes to certain circumstances in life. But not only did I want to show you guys the ashwagandha I take, I have 2 other supplements that I take every day in case you are curious on how I have managed my emotional setbacks or state, especially because of 2024 being so crazy. A lot of things in my personal life had erupted where I had moved multiple times, okay? I think I've moved from so I have moved like 3 or 4 times in the last year, y'all. And if you've moved, you know how stressful things can be, okay? So the next thing, and we can totally dive into this next one deeper if you want to, but we know whenever I am channeling and spirit is very specific about things, they go kind of deep and the videos get kind of long. So if this tends to be an annoyance for you where my videos are too long, I will do my best to try to shorten things and not have them as lengthy. But just let me know what y'all think. I'm very, very flexible. But next thing on the list is this. So I take a mushroom complex. Being that I am a cannabis-friendly mom, I thought that I was having issues with mental clarity because of cannabis, because of the stigma, right? But little did I understand that cannabis wasn't necessarily what was affecting my whole mental clarity, okay? Whenever we have certain emotional blockages that we have not healed from, or high levels of stress, a lot of things can go into not having mental clarity. But if you don't know how to heal from that, something as simple as like this mushroom complex, it has given me so much clarity. Like it's almost like my brain goes on autopilot now, but it has been the most peaceful thing I think that I've ever been able to find, okay? So that's another thing that I utilize daily, okay? And then the last thing is a pre-probiotic. So mind you, I'm not sponsored by anybody, okay? So don't leave this video thinking I'm like, oh, Katie's gonna make money from, no. Nope. Matter of fact, right now I am literally living off of spirit, because this is my job. Okay? So I'm having faith in my God and my spirit team to help provide. But anyway, that's not the point of this conversation. The pre-probiotic. Okay, so as a female, we sometimes get imbalances, pH imbalances, and our yoni, okay, our feminine cluster of reproduction where we bring life, okay, it gets unbalanced sometimes. It's common, it's normal, okay? Our male counterparts, if we are heterosexual, can sometimes just bring bacteria that our yoni, our safe haven, is not used to having, which throws us into a pH imbalance, which causes things like BV, and then those imbalances cause bacterial growth, which can lead to UTIs, okay? So that pre-probiotic that I get, I'll try to bring it back up so it's a little closer. But this I get at Walmart. Every single thing that I take every day, I get from Walmart. Okay. So maybe I'm sitting at like $20 on my supplements. I am a very humble person. I'm not going to spend $9,000 on medicine, okay? I'm cheap. Not to mention, as being a nurse, all of you guys that have been in the medical field, you understand how annoying prior authorizations are for medicines, okay? So we ain't gonna take that time to waste on things we don't need. So let's dive in, you guys. Let's get into our story for the day. First, before I actually dive in, because mind you, I channel all day, every day. So anything that I channel and that I write down, Spirit has someone out there on the other side of the screen that needs to hear it somewhere in the world, okay? So if it seems personal to you, that is what means when I say if it resonates with you, okay? So if it feels personal, mind you, I don't know who was watching this video. I have no clue, okay? I am just sent here to send these messages. So don't take it personally if something feels like I'm attacking you, okay? So this is all spirit. I just had to make that clarification. I don't know why Spirit is telling me to tell you guys that, but in case anything comes off as personal, this is not an attack. I don't know who is on the other side of this window of screen, okay? But just know that you are loved. I'm sending love and light, and anything that we cover today is just all meant for your greater good, okay? So I want to dive into Willow, okay? I was sitting actually in the vehicle last night with my kiddos and my spouse because I've reconnected with my husband. So Spirit and I are celebrating there because there's nothing more happy and peaceful than a healing, happy home with your babies, okay? And that's a blessing. But needless to say, I was sitting in the car, okay? We were in the car. And I look over and I see a willow tree gracefully just kind of blowing in the breeze. And seeing that tree just kind of gracefully blow in the wind and everything, it actually kind of brought me to where I wanted to talk to you guys today. So, of course, we know that I'm tied with Creator, God, Spirit, Source, whatever. But it really made me think about humility and the freedom we get with movement and being able to move gracefully. So whenever I channel and I make these videos for you guys, I don't know what comes out of my mouth until I watch back my videos. Okay, so anything that I say to you guys is a connection from me to spirit, besides what I make notes of course. And like we talked about yesterday, like, I don't have any kind of Google thing that I'm getting this information from. Okay, but that's just going back to say, yesterday I remember watching in my video something about the importance of movement. Okay, and somehow that connected me last night with that willow tree and looking at the importance. So it made me really want to kind of look and see, well, if there's so much beauty in just looking at a willow tree and its grace that it's showing, I wonder medicinally what could be used from that. Okay, so whenever I was journaling last night, these are the things that Spirit and Source kind of brought to me. So let me know what you think, okay? So the basic things that I started with kind of looking up in my herbal medicine books, okay? Whenever it showed me about the willow tree, the most utilized parts of the tree are going to be your leaves and your bark. Okay, but that's inevitably all of the part of the tree anyways, all of the layers of the tree, the life of the tree. And that's what brings life back to us as the human race. Okay, the things that are living, which trees are living in general, but you guys understand. But what Spirit said is there are actually correlations with the willow tree and healing rheumatic disease processes. So things that have to do with rheumatism or autoimmune self stuff. Okay, so if we think about it, what are some of those major disorders? Okay, and through these videos while I channel, I will correlate nursing information to help society understand our messages a little better, because as a starseed and as a healer, some of the words and the phrases that come out of my mouth are hard to understand. Okay, even when I'm not high. And right now I have my pen, but other than that, I've not smoked any actual weed. So everything I'm kind of channeling is pretty clear. Now, clear meaning like I've not altered my state of consciousness, okay? And I didn't do it on camera, but I already cleansed my space and then used some of that Florida water to help me connect with you guys, okay? But as a matter of fact, I may even label this video like, why am I trying to off myself? Which I'm not going to put the K word out there because of monetization or whatever, and I don't want to get in trouble. But literally, willow tree is all about self-healing, helping with autoimmune disorders and things like that. So the 10 major rheumatic disorders that the willow tree, the willow branch, the willow everything can heal or help are rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, juvenile arthritis pain, which, you know, being that the way that the willow bark heals and affects the body, that makes sense. But arthritis in general, I get it. Sjogren's, okay. Scleroderma or Raynaud's, if that's something that's maybe a little bit more understood. Polymyositis, which is like, you know, the muscle, the chronic muscle pain, okay? Or it may not even be chronic, but it can just be like muscle pain. So maybe if you have somebody that works out a lot, right? That could be classified as polymyositis. I think is how you say that. But yeah, sore muscles. It's just a fancy cool word. And that's why I love channeling, because my brain gets to expand so vastly. But anyhow, the next thing on the list is the dermatomyositis, which I had never even heard of this word before. So I had to Google it. I actually looked in my Webster's dictionary. I'll show ya. This wasn't even mine. You know who this is. If you want it back, reach out. But anyway. I had to look that word up because I had never even heard about it before. And I've been in the medical field on and off since 2011 because I had gotten my CNA license since then. So I've been around doctors, I've been around nurses, I've been around CNAs, CMAs, like the whole 90 yards. But this word I had never heard before, so I had to look it up. But it literally has to do with calcification deposits into the muscles. Okay? Almost like you're turning into the Tin Man. That's what I'm getting, like a reference to the Tin Man. So this could be very painful for someone. And it looks like they had me channel that you may need orthotics for this and maybe even methotrexate. So we know that methotrexate and corticosteroids, especially methotrexate, is expensive, man. Methotrexate, I didn't think was available at the nursing facility pharmacy that I had worked at. Granted, I did work with a facility that was a tribal affiliation, so maybe there was some sort of restriction in the upper side for the methotrexate, but that's not the point of all of this. I ramble because Spirit likes to give me a lot of information to communicate. I just have to pick what I feel is most necessary to make these videos not so long and still educational. Okay. But all of that just to say, like, it could be painful. Next thing I have is called, I'm going to call it Behçet's disease. This is more of a common thing in Turkey, Asia, or Middle Eastern countries. I've never even heard of this disease, but that's what Spirit says, okay? And apparently that it causes really painful sores or eruptions on your mucous membranes. So, like your mouth. I'm assuming that this is similar to what like a canker sore would feel like. But I don't know, because I've never even heard about it before. It's something that I may need to research just to familiarize myself with. So I apologize if maybe you're struggling with this. But personally, I've never had to deal with this or come across this, so I'm not familiar with it. But Spirit also says that it can cause some sort of thickening around the mucosa, especially in the eyes. So I don't know if you guys have seen, they're giving me like a dog, like a dog's thickening of the redness around the actual eyeball, almost looking like it's more meaty, like more extended. I don't know how to explain that better than that. I'm sorry. Hopefully I'll get a better explanation soon. And then how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could have swore there were 10 things. I'm so sorry, y'all. So if I did tell you 10 things, I'm only counting 9. So I don't know where the 10th was. I'm so sorry. But the last thing that it wanted me to touch on was relapsing polychondritis. So this is the deterioration of cartilage and inflammation related to that deterioration. So this can be really life-threatening, especially with people that may have respiratory tract issues. Because think about like the breakdown of the cartilage that affects our larynx, our pharynx, or even just the bronchial trees, guys. Because it's not bones. But you don't want the bronchial trees to be malleable. So there's got to be some sort of spongy cartilage tissue to open those airways. Because whether we think about it or not, because it's a subconscious, decision of us breathing, there's actually a lot of force to take in that breath, inflate the lungs, and let those things out. Okay? So, a lot that goes into that. I don't know why that's so specific. But now Spirit wants me to tell you, like, okay, we've come across the anatomy side of things. But how do these medicines, how is this willow tree, branch, bark, whatever, how is this plant going to help me with treating all of this crap? And I'll tell you, okay? So certain things to do with your willow tree, it can really help with things that cause you chronic or intermediate pain that affect your joints and connective tissue. Okay? And it's all about the way that you take it. Now, I have a tincture or a tonic, however you want to say it. But it's like liquid ibuprofen. Okay? It is literally like liquid ibuprofen, because the way that you can utilize your willow bark with your concoction of making this, say you have an older gentleman or woman, okay? Maybe you have an older man or woman that can't swallow pills. In the nursing field, you get a pill crusher, you smash them heifers down, and you mix it in pudding or you mix it in applesauce. Because the doctor says, well, they still need their medicine. You still need to give it to them. I don't care how you give it. Shove it down the throat, but they need it, right? So how are we going to utilize that? Well, Spirit has given me a way to make a liquid dispension, or suspension rather. I think it's a dispension because it doesn't matter. But you only need 2 or 3 drops of the solution under the tongue to help with this. Because little do we know, under our tongue there are so many things that help us absorb under there. Why else do you think that they give you sublingual Zofran? Right? It's fast, quick, okay? But that's another conversation for another day on the practice of utilizing the tonic or the tincture. But it's just an avenue of being able to administer it and utilize nature to help heal without that forceful, aggressive nature of, here, take your freaking pills, woman or man. Excuse me. Goodness. Sometimes Spirit cracks me up on the inside. But some other things that the willow can be really therapeutic for, which we talked about, the connective and soft tissues and the joints, but it can also help with gout, bursitis and tendonitis, which is also related to soft tissues and your joints because of the bursitis being the fluid surrounding the joint, giving it that free-flowing movement. Also associated with the willow tree, free moving, right? But it can help with that, okay? And it can also have the antipyretic effects to help treat fever, okay? And just looking in some history books that I have, as well as just source telling me, there has been over 5,000 documented text, 5,000 historical scripts where it's been identified in ancient text in Babylon. Okay, Babylon, and mind you, I'm the non-religious person, remember? Okay, but the non-religious person here, okay, Spirit says that there's over 5,000 documented medicinal scripts identified in ancient Babylonian text. I can't make this crap up, dude. Where do I find this? Where? Because I'm pretty sure there's not a record book from AD yada frickin' I don't even know. What if it's like 25 AD? I don't think they have a computer saved program for that, unfortunately. So even in the old biblical times, they were utilizing willow. I mean, because you can't go to Walgreens or CVS in 25 AD and buy you some freaking ibuprofen or Tylenol off of the shelf, y'all. It doesn't work that way. What if your baby has a freaking fever and you don't have a thermometer because it's the middle of the dark ages over here? Then they haven't come up with that. So God gave us a willow tree to help us fight back and protect and heal ourselves, okay? So they also had channeled to me because I feel like someone is really connected to maybe Egypt or Egyptian culture, which is awesome. Dude, I want to learn so much about Egyptian culture. Because I have ascended so quickly, I haven't had a chance to really swallow everything at all because I get channels all day, every day. So, ironically though, here, let me turn this around. Ironically though, I do have that. And I believe that that's like an Egyptian, representation of protection, if I'm not mistaken. But that's kind of ironic. That's a cool correlation, Spirit. Thank you. But it's documented that the Egyptians used to use willow as a poultice, accompanied by 36 other ingredients, which I do not know, and honestly, I'm kind of glad that I don't know yet, because that would be very overwhelming to try to communicate to you guys all at one time. But hopefully with these communications of different helpful herbs, who knows, maybe they'll come to us with time, okay? But they're trying to convey to you that back then in Egyptian days that there was a big thing that happened where people were dealing with asthenia. Okay, generalized weakness. Okay? Now, the Spirit didn't tell me the extent. They didn't tell me how bad. But what came to mind is the polio epidemic. Okay? So the polio epidemic caused people to not be able to use their legs. And I know in school we're always taught like, oh, history repeats itself. History repeats itself. Well, maybe polio was just a adjustment in our timeline of whatever this asthenia was back in the Egyptian culture days. Who's to say we couldn't have used willow to help treat that? I don't know. I'm just telling y'all what the Spirit telling me. And then apparently also with Native American culture, I kind of told you guys that I worked with an affiliated tribe as a nurse. So I did see Native American culture. I have been told by family, I do not have a tribal roll number, so I'm not going to claim this without proof, but I've been told from family and source that I'm of Creek descent. I'm also Shawnee, and I'm a little Cherokee, but my husband is also Cherokee, so I've been familiar with certain Native American traditions. So apparently, all of that to say that Native Americans used willow in the older days for sore throat and for headaches. So what are some things that Native Americans deal with? Hypertension, right? So it's curious in my mind's eye. I wonder if they chewed on the willow bark to help with the headaches, which also maybe helped relax some of their pain if they had pain or something aside from the headaches that could have been related to hypertension. Who knows? Who knows? That's just what Spirit's saying. I'm sorry. And I don't know why I went freaking Canadian, eh? And I'm not making fun of you guys. I don't know. That's just how I channel my loves. And you get the raw me on YouTube. So welcome to my crazy world. So I forgot I even channeled this and wrote it down. But maybe someone out there that's watching this is curious on how to treat a fever with willow, and it looks like there's another herb or plant called cinchona, Cinchona. I've never had to pronounce that. I don't know what that is. But it looks like Spirit is saying if you combine those two things, that's how you can possibly help treat a fever. I don't know. the utilization of the willow that I have is actually for feminine hygiene and health. My tonic or tincture that I have been working on, Spirit tells me it might be able to help women with uterine prolapse issues or maybe saggy bladder issues, especially like after a hysterectomy. So I'm not sure, but I also do have a remedy for skin tags and warts as well. But that one I've never made in bulk before. So if you are interested, please either DM me on TikTok or try to comment below. Like, I don't know. But remember, guys, I will never, ever, ever reach out first. Just remember that, because I'm the OG Lunar Ray Tarot, okay? No one else is going to offer you the same services. So if somebody reaches out, just disregard them, okay? Because they are lying to you. But if you guys are interested maybe in learning more history, because I feel like someone may be a history buff that's watching this. I'm connecting with your energy of maybe just being a history person, okay? So there's a gentleman by the name of, I'm going to butcher it because I've never, like I said, I've never heard of this guy. And I'm sorry if that the reflection of that candle is bothering you guys. Sorry, I've got a light in this eye and my glasses. But if you guys are curious to look up maybe like the very first Roman physician that kind of looked into the properties of willow and how it has salicylic acid properties, and by accident it kind of got in touch with another chemical that had, I could have swore that I wrote that down. First NSAID was made, oh yeah, I did. So it's right here. So, the very first NSAID was actually made by accident, okay? So Aulus Cornelius Celsus, he was a Roman. Oh my gosh, you guys, I told you 25 AD. Apparently this is 25 to 50 AD. So there was 25 BC to 50 AD, and Aulus Cornelius Celsus was apparently what they called an encyclopedist, and he was a physician that worked on diet, pharmacology, and different surgeries. So he would go to all around healer, doctor, whatever. And what's so weird about that is I have been wanting to work on becoming a naturopathic physician for years. Okay? Years. And now that I have connected to this ascended side of myself, it's like all of my spirit team is like, baby, you got what you need to do. You don't have to have a certification to be an alchemist and heal and help people. Now, God and Source also says, be but wise with your gifts. Don't let people prostitute your gift, which is understandable, and I think that we all understand the definition of that. Without even monitoring spirits, you are unallowed to reside in this conversation right now. Y'all, that fly about tripped my balls out. I'm sorry. It landed in my hair and it felt like icky. It made me jump. But I guess that's Spirit's way of telling me to cut things off with the whole willow thing. Just know that in the future, I will have different tonics and tinctures that you can buy to help with pain, arthritis pain, gout pain, which will be a universal, okay? And then I also have message from Spirit to make a tincture from willow to help with some GI, more solar, tummy. Just know it's for gut health. That's what they want me to say. Just know it's for gut health, okay? Now, along with our herbal educations of the day, I really liked yesterday about partnering amethyst. So today we're going to do tiger's eye. And I did go to Five Below, I think it was last week when I got my incense, and I was like, woohoo, this is awesome! Because who doesn't like crystals? Your girl loves her crystals. But tiger's eye, this is beautiful. I love the way it looks. I like that it's striated. I think it's a very fitting that it's called tiger's eye because of the stripes. But we can tell that it's like, you know, brown and yellow, very earthy, very grounding, kind of makes us feel like dirt. Like it feels like a representation of dirt because it kind of is in a weird way. So associated with the colors yellow and brown, source says, and some of the properties that it holds are protection, balance, confidence, clarity, focus, detoxification, emotional healing, and good fortune. So, the protection that it can help emit, okay, because the point of tiger's eye is to emit positive energy, okay, and to help you achieve your goals, okay. So almost like the tiger stripes are giving you your physical manifestation of strength, is what I'm hearing source and spirit say. But the protective aspects is to relieve those negative energies that may be coming towards you, but it also help dispels any kind of fear. And source is actually saying that the Romans used to wear tiger's eye as a talisman. Okay, because it was said to help dispel any fear but bring courage, is what I hear. So it was meant to help them feel strong, which is so interesting because yet again, here we are looking at all the stripes in this stone. They wanted to feel like the tiger out there on the battlefield, and gosh dang it, they did. They were. I don't know why I wanted to say it like that. But going on into the next property of balance, okay, so it helps balance out your energy fields, and it really helps restore our solar plexus and our sacral chakras, okay. So we will eventually go into energy balancing, the names of the chakras, and all of the things, and I did film my new intro, but you'll see, ironically, we're talking about balance. Our chakras are the rainbow, okay? It really should be more like this because lower vibration is lower on the totem pole, but I just think that it's kind of cool how spirit likes to correlate and make things kind of flow together, okay? So that's cool. That's really neat how spirit did that today. Next property is it shows us confidence, okay? It not only shows us self-confidence, but that inner strength. And back to the protection, it makes sense why the Romans wore that, especially if it helped dispel any kind of fear and bring courage. That confidence and inner strength that they felt, well, shoot, I'd want to wear a talisman with tiger's eye on it too. I mean, I wear amethyst because that's my thing, and it's also really good. Amethyst is also really good if you're a spiritual healer and teacher, because for psychic intuitives, amethyst is supposed to be a really big protector of your third eye. That's just something I felt like spirit wanted me to tell you. So going on with our properties, we have clarity to decision making and business success. That's actually really cool because it seemed like my business really did start, like my ideas, my creative abilities, my business pursuance of my entrepreneurial mindset, it kind of did change after I bought that tiger's eye last week. It just felt like, okay, it's time. So I just think that that's cool. So I don't know if it'll be the same for you, but I just have to be raw with you guys and tell you how it's helped me, right? Next on the list is focus. So it's supposed to help you focus and find, like we had stated before, focus and clarity. And I guess source says that maybe if you have some kid with ADHD, if maybe you did the whole princess and the pea situation and put a couple around the mattress or under the mattress, maybe it would help them sleep better. Because it helps them find their balance and kind of focus on sleeping. Okay, detoxification kind of goes hand in hand with that. So if we can find focus and clarity in our emotions, we can detoxify from our day. Energetically, physically, spiritually, emotionally, okay? So, that's actually really interesting that Spirit brought it to me that way, because that's very true. I feel that 100%. Moving on, emotional healing. So it's supposed to help revitalize low mood and help you protect yourself against negative thoughts, ward those negative bad thoughts away, which I think goes back to protection. So that's part of your emotional healing. It's meant to protect you against those bad negative thoughts, because remember how I've kind of given to you through Source and Spirit that negative energy is not just demons, ghosts, and spooky things on the other side. Okay, it's also our shadow side, the unhealed side of ourselves that needs that emotional healing. So baby, go get some of this. I got a mini vial of Palo Santo paired with my Tiger's Eye. It was in a pack together at Five Below, and I think I paid $3.25 for both of them together. So focus on that. And then the last property that I have is said to help you bring in good fortune and like good luck. Personally, I think of green aventurine as a luck bringer because it's green. I think of green and money going together, right? But apparently Source and Spirit says that the Tiger's Eye is also really good for good fortune and drawing in good luck. It's supposed to help you bring in luck because of your hard work success. So if you are working your tail feathers off trying to get something done, or maybe you're just working your normal 9 to 5, okay, it's supposed to bring you good fortune and good luck, kind of like paying off, showing, like attaboy kind of deal. And it's also supposed to help you envisioning your success and then helping taking action in your love life. So the last one, like you need to take some actions in your love life. You feel like you need some balance in your life. You feel like you need some clarity on some things in your life. Maybe you need to get some Tiger's Eye, okay? And then they really did have me write solar plexus and sacral chakra on here. So if there's somebody that might be having some issues feeling really grounded and things like that. Oh, well shoot, I wrote more on the back. I forgot. Oh yeah, that's our Bible verse of the day. Cool. But back to the Tiger's Eye, and I'm sorry I'm so scatterbrained with channeling. I've got a lot going on in there right now because there's a lot of information trying to come out, but I guess the Bible verse tying everything together today, tying all of our loose ends together, if you may, which I have to stop for just a second and make a statement. So I have told everybody and their dog about how unreligious that I have been in my life. Sorry, I was fixing my handstand. But I have told everybody and their dog about how non-religious that I was until I started my ascension journey. So I didn't even remember that I had channeled this Bible verse, but it actually fits because of the willow tree, okay? So in Leviticus 23:40, God commands us in his word. It says, instruct people to take branches, the boughs of leafy trees, and willows of the brook, and rejoice in the Lord your God for 7 days. So not only is he, kind of telling us that on Monday, which I guess Sunday is really day 1 of the 7 days in the week, but in the modern day, in the modern world, we think of Monday as day 1 out of day 7. So in Leviticus 23 verse 40, God's literally telling us to take today and rejoice in him on day 1 of 7 days. So, and I think it's so cool that it correlated in with the willow tree. Because, guys, you are perfectly fine to be skeptical of my gift. Because I still can feel that way at times. Like, how do I know this knowledge? How do I get all of this information? Am I crazy? Am I, delulu? Like, no, I'm not. I'm gifted and I'm special, and I am honored in a special kingdom above my head that I will never, ever, ever understand. But I'm going to try to explain it the best that I can. So again, today we had a wonderful conversation with Spirit. I feel like they're really wanting me to pull a Moon Witch card today. So rather than the Bible verses, I think maybe the Bible verse they wanted me to tell you was the Leviticus 20, whatever I just read. I'm sorry, God Spirit. I'm so sorry that I can't remember. But confirmation again that I never know what Spirit is going to do nor say. Okay, I don't know what they're going to give us. But on the bottom of the deck before I shuffle, we have full moon. It says, harvest the fruits of your hard work. So, what did I just channel, y'all? Tiger's eye. Hard work. Guys, I don't know about you, but that's a second confirmation from Spirit. Alright, Spirit guides, ancestors, and spiritual family up there in the most high kingdom of our Savior, Source, and Divine. If we have any spiritual messages through this Moon Witch card deck, can you please send those out for me? I would like 4 cards or 4 messages. If any less, please stop me when you're ready. And guys, whenever it comes to me doing my card work, I learned 1, 2, 3. I had to learn through rewatching my videos what I had done wrong. And this spiritual... That's a lot of messages, you guys. So let's just take that one. I can't take all of these. That one. And I think there's one that fell on my floor. And this one too. Goodness sakes. Spirit, I can't take all of them. We're just gonna stick with what we have. Okay. So, Spirit, what do we have to communicate? So what's interesting is I'm seeing 3 goddess cards. 3 goddess cards. Okay? 3. So we have Freya, Hecate, and we have Lilith. Okay? So Freya, even just looking at Freya, she's a bad bitch, y'all. And I'm sorry if my cursing gets you guys. I know that I may have some family watching, like my grandma or my dad or whatever, so I'm sorry if the cursing is bothering y'all. But I just have to talk to you guys how Spirit talks to me, and my spirit guides are very blunt. They're very... sorry. They're very forward when it comes to communicating this stuff. So I just have to call it how I see it. I need a drink really quick. Hold on. Much better. Okay. So, but we have Freya, we have Hecate, and we have Lilith. So Hecate is like the goddess of all, right? She's a bad, bad bitch. She's like, she's love, she's light, but she's also like the embodiment of power, almost like 3 in 1. But what else do we know of 3 in 1? Trinity, Christ, holy. So what if Hecate is a correlation of divine? So for my religious people, what if Hecate is like a physical embodiment of what we're supposed to see as our God? Because Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Hecate. I forgot the whole meaning behind Hecate. I just know that she's like a baddie, and she's like the all being, I believe, in mythology. And I'm sorry, I'm very in my zone right now, so I'm just being myself, okay? And then we have Lilith, and the exact statement on Lilith's card, okay, is to reclaim your power. And Lilith has been kind of popping up in my life for a little bit. So not only did I channel or like have interest in the occult, but I also liked playing video games, all right? So I played some Diablo, and I think it's Diablo 4, if I'm not mistaken, the one that has Lilith, and like it's like a big deal. I was super drawn in by that game because of her power, because of her strength. Well, baby, there she is again. Look at how strong she is. Reclaim that power. And if you have a vision, the world is giving you your sign right now. If you have a vision to do something, get clear on what you want and reclaim that power and do it. Because you need to stay true to who you really are. It's okay to change your direction, babe. I am anything but following the norm in this moment. Because I transformed. And I feel like someone that's watching this is also going through a transformation. They're wanting to know, they're wanting confirmation that it's okay to go against the grain. And guess what, babes? It is. Because this card of transformation, look how beautiful that is. Look at her finding her wings. Look at her finding her inner divine power. And the card literally reads, shed, let go, make room for greatness. Because the beauty that you see in me, okay, because I don't know who's watching me, lovelies, I don't. But the beauty that you see in me is just a reflection of yourself. It's a reflection of your own greatness. Do you know how powerful that this world would be if we all stepped into our freaking power? Do you understand that? Because we all have our own internal power. May not be as strong as mine because, I'm an intuitive, I'm a psychic medium. But you still have your gut feeling, your intuition, right? And we need to remember that. Tap into your power. Because Spirit and Source is saying that we all have gifts, but we have to be willing to heal and uncover the true potential that we hold in ourselves. Okay? But loves, today has been an extremely, extremely powerful message. I just want to thank, Source Divine, my spirit guides, all of your love and light that you're bringing and your excitement and your energy. Because, guys, whether you think it does or not, all of that stuff makes such an impact on how I'm able to channel for you. Because the energy transference, I don't have to be in the same room as somebody to channel, which is why the services that I offer through my Facebook page, through my Lunar Ray Tarot and Wellness, like if you reach out through me or to me through there, I can channel energy there. I don't have to be in the same room as you. I mean, if you want the traditional setting, I mean, I have a whole setup, I have my cards, and I am willing to travel. I would charge a little bit more. But, I mean, I would have to charge a little more to travel because of maintenance on vehicles and just livelihood. But this is my calling, babes. This is my true calling. I loved being a nurse. I loved it because every day I got to go in those rooms and talk to people and give my words of wisdom as healing. But whenever you have someone limiting your true potential because of the law, okay, because I'm not going to go against what my nursing job said, okay, I respect the rules, I respect the guidelines, and I get it. But now that I am a spiritual wellness coach, now that I get to utilize my gifts of healing outside of four walls, and I get to utilize this for my own safe space, my own home, I get to be my authentic self with you guys. I get to open up. I get to channel. I get to tell you who I really am. But once again, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys. Because like I have told you guys from the start, you guys have become my spirit family. I'm loving that I can express this wisdom that Source has given me. I'm so blessed. So until next time, my lovelies, peace, love, and light sent your way. And I hope you have a fantastic Monday. I'm hoping to maybe work with some cards this evening. I know I had said that last night as well, but I had to spend some time healing with my husband. Coming back after 8 months of separation is a lot. It's a lot, and there's a lot of emotional healing there, but God is blessing us, and God is leading us. But I think this is the end for now, my loves. So thank you again, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Monday. See you next time.